And only a year later, in 97, Metallica would put out Reload. Fun fact, this is actually one of the first albums I ever bought because I found this and the Black Album at a garage sale. When I was very young and new to this band, I found them. They're like $2 each or something. And yeah, so I heard Reload way before I heard Load. But that doesn't mean I like it more because, let's be real, Load is better than this one. Although there are, again, like Load, a lot of really good songs in this one, but also some really not great songs. So yeah, man, let's dive right into it. And again, easily coming in at last place is going to be Slither. This is the most forgettable song probably on both these albums together. Like, I swear to God, I always forget that song even exists. And that is because there is nothing memorable in it. There's no good riffs, no good moments, nothing. There is nothing in Slither that deems it necessary to even exist. So, bad song. We're moving on to another bad song. And again, like Load, I had Mama Said like second to bottom. And second to bottom this time is going to be Low Man's Lyric because, again, like Mama Said, I don't think it's the worst song, but it is a bad Metallica song. And to be fair, the whole part where it's like, so you bring this dog in from the rain, that whole thing, I do think is pretty solid and the only reason it's even above Slither. But oh my God, the fact that it's 7 minutes and like the last two are just the same stupid ass riff repeating over and over again. This song is way too damn long. There's like 2 parts, 3 kind of, and that's it. Too damn long. This song definitely has its fans, but I am not one of them. Fuck Low Man's Lyric. And in the sea of forgettable ass shit, we have Better Than You coming up next. Really, the main riff, and the intro I think is pretty cool, but for the most part, this is just another mediocre song that really, also I can't imagine anyone being a big fan of this song. I think it's just super boring and uninteresting, and it's kind of the theme with a lot of these songs is boring and uninteresting because you shouldn't record 27 goddamn songs at once, okay? It's too damn many. And next up is going to be Bad Seed. Now, this is another one where I'm just like, I mean, it's okay. I think this is like a definitely in a different tuning and everything, and that like the main riff I think is kind of chunky. But yeah, again, for the most part, pretty forgettable and pretty uninteresting. I could easily never listen to the song again, and I wouldn't complain. And the fifth and final song in this category of totally forgettable songs is going to be Attitude. I just think this is like super major filler material. I mean, it's weird to say filler on albums that are half filler, but out of all of them, I think this is the most fillery filler of them. Now, to be fair, it is above these other couple songs because I do think the riffs in it are pretty good. I do like the intro. It's kind of very similar to Prince Charming. And I guess one thing I can say that's kind of a downfall of these albums is so many fucking riffs are like 0, 5, 7. Like, they use the 5th and 7th fret so fucking much in so many songs that it becomes a little ridiculous. Like, Saint Anger later on has the same problem with 0, 3, 5. So many riffs use those fucking 3 notes, but here it's 0, 5, 7. So, but yeah, Attitude, probably they'll never play the song live because no one requests it, because no one remembers it. But to be fair, it is a pretty good song. But like I mentioned earlier, Prince Charming is up next, and this is another one where I do remember it, there are some pretty solid moments, like the bridge, like the "Look Up to Me." That's all fine and dandy. I do love that little. That's all good and stuff. But yeah, the verse is pretty forgettable, but the chorus is memorable. So yeah, it's a decent song, just not one that I revisit a lot. And speaking of not revisiting a lot, next up is going to be "The Memory Remains." I don't know why that they like choose to play this song a lot. I get it was a single, but I mean, really, was it a great single? And everyone knows it. The whole old lady singing the Nas is pretty bad. But yeah, the rest of the song, it's okay, but yeah, not one that I go back and listen to. Like, I just don't get why this song is so oftenly played while others are just totally forgotten. And perhaps another pretty forgotten one, but I think is a little underrated. Next up is going to be "Devil's Dance." Now, this is like the super slowed down, just, but it grooves pretty damn hard. And that bass riff just chugging along, and the banu, like that whole shit, that's good stuff. It's very slow, but it's very heavy and pretty catchy. So I think it's a little underrated. And speaking of underrated, I'm just gonna say it, Unforgiven 2 is my favorite Unforgiven. I think this is a criminally underrated song, like the top couple of songs I have. But yeah, with that main riff and the way the bridge plays out, and he's like he sings that, like, whatever lyric it is, and he holds it, and then the ba ba boop boop ba 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 ba, and then into the chorus, and all the little Unforgiven 1 throwbacks, like the intro is the same, the bow now meow meow, that riff comes back later in the song. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I just think more people need to talk about Unforgiven 2, because, and even the way they incorporate the 2 in the lyrics, as in like TOO, as in "You're Unforgiven 2," but the song is called Unforgiven 2. I think that's pretty fun. But yeah, super underrated. Everyone go listen to Unforgiven 2 again. And next up is going to be "Fuel." The also on this one, probably the most played, and fair enough. In the Justice video I mentioned, I thought it was cool how in one, the kicks, or like even like the riff itself, sounds like a machine gun. And I was like, there's another song that uses this kind of technique to recreate a real sound. In "Fuel," the chorus, I think, like, the way the double bass happens, like, one of them is louder than the other one, so it kind of sounds like an engine, like, stalling. I think that's fucking really cool, and really the best part of the song. But yeah, even like the verse, another fucking 5 and 7 riff, one of the 8,000 on this album. And the whole bridge is pretty fun. Ooh, yeah. And that whole thing. Solo's great. It's a fun 4-minute song, and yeah, what else can I say besides fun? And the bronze medal is going to go to the closer, "Fixer." It was pretty cool when they finally played the song for the first time a couple of years ago, or maybe like 1 year ago. They finally busted it out. James can't really sing it anymore, but he does go pretty high on the album version. So, can't really fault him for it. But yeah, bro, "Fixer" is just kind of like "Outlaw Torn," or even "Bleeding Me." Like the long piece that I think, like, the true Metallica fans really appreciate, because it is very different and it's just really well written. I mean, I don't even know what else I can say. "Jab Another Pin in Me." I don't know why there's 3 X's. Me and my friends joked about it, like, what is it, like porn or something back then? Weirdly titled, but yeah, it's a really good song with really no low moments. I like the whole thing. Kind of like all these songs up here, I like the whole songs. But yeah, the runner-up is going to be Carpe Diem Baby. Number 2, you probably think I'm crazy for, but I just think that do 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 wah da ba na 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 na. That whole riff I really like. I love the verse riff. Another one of those where they're both playing something different, or they at least hit like a different chord. I really wanted to cover this song for this video, but it's not my favorite song, unfortunately. But ooh, I do really like this song. Another one of those super underrated songs, but of course, nothing comes close to my number 1 pick. And, well, process of elimination. Did you notice that that I recorded the guitar and drums with my long hair still, but waited to get my hair cut to do the bass because Jason cut his hair way before they did? And if you watch the making of, you can see they have their long hair while they made the album, but they cut it for promoting it. That's the kind of attention to detail you get here. That's exactly why I fucking binged. I had to process the first 5 albums before I cut my hair because I knew I had to wait to talk about Load to cut my hair. But I still fucking thought to record those 2 parts with my long hair. Really, I didn't do it in the last video because for that portion of House That Jack Built I played, there's literally like 4 bass notes. So I was like, I'm not even gonna fucking bother. But yeah. That's pretty cool, huh? But yeah, where the wild things are. I just think this is simply kind of like the House That Jack Built, one of the most unique songs in their library. The way they wrote it, it comes across like it's a creepy vibe. I love that. I've played it. You know the parts I love. But I didn't do the verse riff, which I also really like, and the whole bridge where fucking Lars is going ham and they do their guitar stuff and all that shit. There's like 2 vocal things happening at once. I think this is a really good song, and like I mentioned a million times, one of the most unique songs they have ever written. And yeah, Jason helped write this song, and it shows because pretty much every song he helps write is one of their best. I mean, Blackened, My Friend of Misery, this one should have let him write more stuff. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the loads. We're finally done. And as far as my version of these 2 albums together, I called it Lock and Load because like what the fuck else are you gonna call it without it sounding super dirty? I'll put it on the screen or down there, whatever. This is my perfect version of these 2 albums. Let me know what yours is. This is also like a really fun thing to do. I guess the only criteria is that it has to be under 80 minutes because that's all that can fit on a CD. So as long as yours is under 80 minutes, you're good, but you can't go over. So let me know what your Lock and Load version would be. So tune in next time where we get out of the studio and go super old school and back into the garage because it's fun to play songs in the garage when it's not super cold outside. So stay tuned for that.